Welcome to my channel. Absolutely amazing to have you here. Today we're going to talk about Jupiter. Who? Jupiter, you. Yeah, you are Jupiter, my friend. Jupiter is you. You are Jupiter. And that's what the whole conversation's about today. It's a very specific trait or an attribute. If you are someone who believes in yourself, someone who's absolutely focused on you, that you can make things happen. You are the most powerful person in this universe, which is your universe. You make it happen. Against all odds, you are there and you can make it happen. This typically is found with entrepreneurs who basically have a very creative idea, or they have an idea that they feel could change the world. They want to do it in an ethical, moral value instead of stealing or getting into something else. They want to, like, hey, I want to make a difference. How could I do this? How could I do this? They are with the problem, they ponder on it, and they figure what's going through. They face multiple setbacks, multiple failures, and they even have this sense of self doubt that, can I even do this? Is it even possible for me to do it? But they end up being successful as they continue more and more on it. They learn. It starts off that how can I make a difference? Then it starts off in terms of how can I learn? How can I make a difference here? And that journey continues further and further, and they become amazing entrepreneurs. This is also a case of amazing businessmen as well. So, uh, very similar businessmen and entrepreneurs as well. Uh, they are committed towards making themselves successful, and that success translates to success at home, which means they keep their homes better, they are able to provide better for their kids, they're able to take care of their wives better, and they're able to take care of their mother, father better. They become better sons, and overall they go further in terms of how can I not only impact me, my home, but how can I make an influence to my community around? And they become even a bigger person, they become a better influence as they grow further. And that's the whole crux of it. A bigger person, they become better and have a huge influence to the people around. So typically, sun is your father, moon is your mother. So once you grow uh, out of the folds of your parents, which is your sun and the moon, then you become Jupiter. And as you are a woman, you take on the hormones that are provided by Venus. And for a man, you bring on the hormones from the Mars perspective. So you look at your Mars, you could see that what kind of a man are you, and from your Venus you can also see what kind of a woman you are. And interestingly, Venus is also about the money that comes to it. So everyone has the 9 planets. No one's like, so it's like a chess game. So in a chess game you have all these pieces, but recognizing what these pieces do, how you can play with them, how can you be the master orchestrator or the maestro as they call it, you could have way more fun in your life by being the creator of your life, by being someone who's able to make a difference by being the creator of your life, rather than someone who plays victim. So if you have the sense of being the creator, being the master of your life, then Jupiter is your guy. Just look at Jupiter. He has so much, and the reason I'm saying he is in the Vedas, Jupiter is listed as a man. And if you go to the Greek side of things, you have Zeus, Thor, but you also have Juno, who's supposed to be a female twin of Jupiter. So you could relate to that. I'm just using the word he loosely, and you could have that sense of connect. If you're a woman, you could also have Juno as someone whom you could have that connect with. So Jupiter, mightiest planet, uh, basically has the biggest gravitational pull, has a mass that's like enormous, chose not to be a star, could be a star at some point in time, but chose not to be a star, and has storms in it, has moon in it, has a lot of activity that's going on. It's like a whole galaxy that's there within Jupiter itself. But it's a planet that's protecting Earth. I believe it protects through multiple meteorites that come towards Earth gets deflected because of Jupiter's gravitational pull. And all of this is just amazing. So if you are someone who takes on the responsibility that no, I'm going to make a difference to me, I'm going to make a difference, whatever is my circumstance, I'm going to make a huge difference to me. An example of that would be Oprah, where she wasn't born rich, she was born poor. She was born in difficult circumstances. She went through a lot of difficult circumstances, but she beat the odds. Against all the odds, she believed in herself. She said, no, I am going to believe in myself and I'm going to change. I'm going to make a difference. And it was not just a one time thing. Okay, I've decided now my life is going to change. I'll just sleep. I'll see what comes through. No, you're at it. You're constantly at it. You're constantly pushing boundaries. You're constantly making a difference. As you're doing it, you're learning. And as you're learning, you're getting better and better and better. So that relentless approach towards growth, that relentless approach towards making a difference is what's really getting people through. That you could find a big influence when you come through Jupiter, and you'll have a lot of similar traits. So the most powerful planet, you say, I am that most powerful planet, and I am that most powerful person which is there, who's always having a growth mindset, who's looking at how can I get better. And as I get better, my life gets better. As my life gets better, it influences and impacts the people around me. And as I'm able to do a better service to the people around me, I just keep growing. I grow in stature, I grow in power, and I get better and better and better. That is the whole goal of Jupiter, where it starts with you, and then you become the bigger person, and you become better with it. So if you look at the houses that Jupiter controls, you can call them as significators. Significator of the second house. Second house is typically your money, your savings, the income that comes to it. And it's also the house of family. So that is, again, the significator is Jupiter. Then you have fifth house. Fifth house is your heart. Fifth house is your creative capacities, how creative you get. So it could also be the uh, the benefits from the fourth house. So second house is basically the income or the benefits from any house. So if I take fourth house, which is the house of the mother, then fifth house becomes the benefit of the mother. Could be you. Or it could also be your creative pursuits. It could be a place where you're away from home, where you start finding your own identity. And your heart is always beating, your heart is always there with you. So that's an essentially a fifth house thing. Strong heart, generous heart, large heart, lion's heart, dragon's heart, that all becomes Jupiter. Then you have seventh house. Every planet has a seventh aspect, but Jupiter says that I will basically be your partner. I will help you find a better partner. So typically in South India, you would notice that people get married, especially when there is Guru Balan. So they say Guru Balan or Guru Balan. So Balan is essentially strength and Guru is essentially Jupiter. So they say when the Jupiter is super strong, is when we will actually look for a marriage proposal, and that's when we will actually even go for marriage. So that tells you that why is that so important? Because if I have to take responsibility of expanding more than me, which is like me and another person, me and a partner, I need to have that sense of awareness, that sense of power, and the sense of responsibility for me to grow together. It's not about just getting into a destructive mode where we destroy ourselves and destroy the other person, but it's about can we have that sense of communion and grow together. And that's exactly why Jupiter is so important, that they look for Guru Palan, and they also look at where is your Jupiter placed, where's your partner's Jupiter placed, and how does that work. So that is again another important aspect. Then you have ninth house. Ninth house is about dharma, like how you relentlessly following your dharma. That let's say there are no cameras, there's nothing on you, but you're being focused. You do this whether people pay you or not. You love doing it, and that's essentially what the ninth house is. It's about your luck. It's about travel. It's about doing what you really love. And then the important aspect is also about the 11th house. 11th house is your liquid gains, which is exceptional financial gains that you have. So let's say you take a stock like Titan, let's say for like Junjunwala, you just picked Titan when it was like at 1 or 2 rupees. But you have the vision that you don't do intraday trading on it. You don't like as it goes from 2 to 4, which means you've doubled your capital, you're going to just take it out. You're saying, no, the fundamentals of this company seem strong. It seems amazing. So I'm going to be with it for a longer period of time. And you go all the way till it's 100. Maybe, I don't know what the stock price is now. Maybe it's 200, 300, 400. But you've basically 50x'd or 10x'd your savings, and you've made a huge difference to it. And because of that, it gives you more choices, it gives you more power and more money, more freedom to do things. And that's essentially what the 11th house is. So if you look at houses from 2 to 5, they are internal houses, something that's very internal to you, like self, which is first house, second, family. But it's all very internal. It's how you basically are doing something within your inner world. Once you start going beyond 5, then you start coming up. You start coming up on the horizon. And then it's the outer world, which is the public eye. 7th is the public. And then you have 9th, again, on the public side, and 11 on the public side. So Jupiter is one planet where it's not only within, but it's also without. So it kind of contributes to both. So the power within, power without. Helplessness within, helplessness without. Master within, master without. So you kind of bring those attributes, and it's extremely creative for you to work with this beautiful planet to make a difference in your life. And the deity, one, the Jupiter is also called Brihaspati. So Brihaspati is essentially master of growth, master of prosperity, and someone who's always looking at how can I get better. And that's essentially how the universe also functions. They say that universe has no limit. It's constantly moving, constantly evolving, and it's always what universe was maybe a billion years back is not the same universe that's now, and it's constantly moving, changing, and adapting. That's essentially a big trait of Brihaspati. And there's also another deity or someone who owns that planet is Indra. So look at Indra, the king of all gods. He is called Vajra Pani, and he's someone who's so powerful. But he started out with a very simple space of I am the master of my 5 senses. And that's essentially how the whole concept starts, that I have mastered my 5 senses. Now what else can I do? Now what else can I do? And that's where he's praised to be the mighty hero in the Vedic tradition. I think most of the hymns, like close to 60 to 70% of the hymns in Rig Veda, are towards Indra, praising him to be the mighty hero, praising him to be the most amazing person out there. And you also have a lot of Greek stories that go on where Indra would own Antares, and then you have the Beetlejuice, which is Lord Shiva, and there are some stories around that. So that's where I want to get to, which is you also have a sloka that if you can keep looking at this sloka time and time again, you would start appreciating Jupiter more and more. You would start appreciating you more and more. Why? Because you are Jupiter and Jupiter is you. So let's kind of look at this shloka. It's extremely interesting, very powerful, something that you could do as on an everyday basis for you to have this connect with Jupiter. So the mantra goes this way. Brihaspati ati yadaryo arhat Duma dibati kratum ajjaneshu Yat didayat chavasarta prajata Tadasmasu dravinam dehi chitram Indrashreshta nitravina nidehi chittim Dakshasya subhagatvamasme Kosham rayina marishtim tanonam swatmanam vachas soti natvamandam Brahmanade Brahmayuja Ayunak Nihari Sakha Aya Sadamada Ashu Stiram Ratam Sukamindradi Prajanan Vidvan Upayahi Somam. So it's a long mantra. Go through this video again and again. It's a beautiful mantra to talk about how amazing is Jupiter. It's super long, but it's something that will give you more appreciation about what Jupiter is all about. In this mantra, you clearly see that it says that, what do I want? How can I achieve it? How can I achieve my goals? Help me achieve the goals. Or you could also look at it that Indra, come on, help me out. How you're so amazing, you're so brilliant. How can I do this? And if you look at Sanskrit, the beauty of this is it has multiple ways of looking at things. You can even look at it as you are that. You are Jupiter as you're chanting this mantra. And as you're doing this mantra, you are becoming better and better and better. You are becoming Brihaspati, which is you are becoming the master of growth. You are becoming Indra, which is you're becoming the master, you're becoming the king. You are becoming that amazing person that you are. So it is beautifully expansive, and you can go further and further into it. So that is the beauty of this. So this would heal any anything. This could heal about yourself as well. So any relationship that you have with your own self, that you feel you're not confident enough, you feel you're not adequate enough to handle any situation, this could immediately put you back to a space of, I got this, I'm going to have it, I'm going to handle it. You might fail, you might get disheartened, but you will learn from it. You will use failures as a stepping stone, and you would come out stronger, you would come out better. And it's not Jupiter loves Mars, and if you look at it, it's kind of generational. You have, if you look at Bharatvaja Gotram, which is where Mars is, it basically looks at Angiras, Brihaspati, then Bharatvaja. So Mars could be, Brihaspati could be the great grandfather of, or the grandfather of Mars. So it's extremely generational, and the love is kind of evident there, that Mars and Jupiter love each other a lot. And you would notice that this adds a sense of power to it. While the focus is completely on Jupiter, which is you, having an amazing energy, that positive pull, would make you unassailable will make you amazing, brilliant to go further and further into your goals, because no one's going to stop you from your goals other than you. If you believe that this is not the right thing for you, then you are the one who puts a stop on yourself. And that's a trait that you will find with people who believe in themselves. That's a trait you will find with entrepreneurs and business people. They are not someone where someone tells you that please do a business and they will go ahead and do it. They are someone who believes in themselves. They listen to themselves. They say, in spite of the failures, in spite of what's going on, I'm going to persist. I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to make a difference. And they're so convinced into it that I'm going to make a difference that the failures don't deter them. The failures only make them better, and they learn from it. They're not stupid, where they keep hitting the same thing again and again and expect a different outcome. They are looking at, okay, how can I, if this doesn't work, can I try something else? If that doesn't work, can I try something else? Oh, why did it not work? And can I use, like I said, 11th house is also about large communities. Can I learn from others? Can I have pattern recognition of how people are going? So if you look at marketplaces, or 11th house is also called Kumbh. So there, it's huge temples is what we kind of look at. So because that's why you have Kumbh. But it's also large groups of people, how large groups of people affect mass psychology. How can I learn from it? So that's again a beautiful trait that Jupiter has. It can learn from patterns, it can learn from people, it can learn from a lot of things. So keep listening to this mantra again and again and again, and you would notice that your connection with yourself gets better. You would get more powerful. You would believe in yourself more and more. And you would stop doubting yourself. You would stop doubting yourself and say, I am the master of my growth. I'm the master of my prosperity, and I'm going for it. I'm going for it. And you need more money. So you're going to bring the Venus, which is again in your chart, right? You're going to start activating that Venus. And you're married, or you have your spouse, then your wife here would start bringing you that sense of energy that, hey, you have the abundance here. Career, looking for a job change, then Saturn could help you. Saturn could bring you through, and you are the ones basically pulling it and making it happen. Skill, you want to have a skill enhancement, you want to get better with your skill, then Mercury starts coming in. So all this gets absolutely amazing. Miracles come through where you start believing in yourself. And that's essentially where I want to come from. It is not about predictions. It's not about what's happening with the transits, what's happening with Gocharam. It's all about how can I make a difference by meditating, by meditations again, typical Jupiter trait, because fifth house is essentially meditation, mantras, or you have neuro-linguistic programming, where what you tell yourself, you become that. Using your mind essentially is moon, and Jupiter loves the moon. That's why it's also called Soma. And you could also see a lot of stories where they say Indra's drunk with Soma. So you could look at mind and how you use your mind. Again, you're using your mind to make a difference. You are the master of you. You're the master of the mind. You're master of everything. And that's why you are Jupiter. So that's essentially where you have to start looking at it again and again, and how I could make a difference from there. So let's look at a very interesting way of making your Jupiter brilliant through astrology. So, for example, let's say Jupiter is in Tiruvadrai Nakshatram, which is Jupiter is in Ardra Nakshatram, or Nakshatra, which is what they say. So, Ardra Nakshatra is part of Mithuna or Gemini, and the owner of, or the one who constructed that Rashi is Mercury. And you look at where Mercury is placed, and see if you have a Graha Drishti or a Rashi Drishti. If so, what is a Graha Drishti? What's a Rashi Drishti? Graha Drishti is always changing because the Graha is always moving. But for that temporary moment of time, you have the blessings of Mercury, who basically created this house. And you're saying that your house is going to be stable because I'm looking at you. I have created this house. I know how the keys work. I know how the mysteries of this work. And I can help you out. Now, if you look at Nadi is extremely clear that Jupiter is you. They say Jupiter is you. No, nothing else matters. Jupiter is you. But we can tell you many things based on how far it is from the Lagna. We can tell you many things with combinations with Venus, combinations with other planets. We can tell you where you are. But their complete focus is on Jupiter. In Nadi, if you look at it, you have Rahu. And they say Rahu owns Kani or Virgo. And from that, Rahu is exalted in Gemini. So that's another way to look at it. One is you look at ownership, like who owns what. But you also look at exaltation. For example, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Mars does not own Capricorn. Saturn owns Capricorn. But Mars, since he owns Capricorn, he knows so much about how I can excel in this zodiac belt or that zodiac region, how I can make amazing things here. And Mars is a natural remedy to Jupiter because Jupiter struggles in Capricorn. Because Capricorn is about how I can cut things down, how I can minimize things, how can I be focused. And Jupiter is about expansion, how I can be better. And Mars is about focus. So Jupiter kind of helps you with that focus, expansion, and it's able to nourish that as well. So when Mars and Jupiter come through, wherever the so-called perceived weaknesses starts becoming strengths, and that is an amazing trait to have. So I think it's morning and the cookers have started firing, and if you notice the sound of the cookers coming through, don't be startled. It's just something that's in the background. Just ignore. Let's stay focused on the topic. So coming back to this beautiful thing, and the reason I'm saying this is it's very difficult to understand this, and that's why I want to bring this up as the biggest example itself. So if I have to look at who's exalted in Gemini, it's Rahu. Rahu's exalted in Gemini. Mercury owns Gemini, but Rahu's exalted there. He is able to take it to another level. He's able to figure out a way that could like maximize it. So you learn from someone who can maximize it. So if you want to learn about money generation, you don't go to someone who's a failure with money. Yeah, you could listen to that person just to see the mistakes and all of it. But if you want to learn from somebody, you want to look at someone who's a billionaire, someone who's mastered the game, someone who's like, hey, I've got this is what I did, these are my steps, and I became a billionaire this way. And I'm giving it to you because I think it would help you with your skill. They wouldn't like hold it back, they would just give it away. Typically, that's a trait of many billionaires. They would give it away because they know they can create lots of money. They know they've mastered the game. They know that something which is coming through, which is multiple source of income, and I have looked at how this game works and I can play it at another level. And I'm looking at more in life. I'm looking at what is the next big thing that I can do. What else can I do to enhance my life? What else can I do to make a difference? So if you want to learn about money, learn from a billionaire. If you want to learn something about medicine, learn from someone who's done exceptionally well in healing others. So that's typically how it is. So if I want to learn about how I'm Jupiter in Tiruvadre Nakshatram sitting in Mithuna, I want to learn from Rahu, who's basically mastered it. So I'm like, Rahu, help me out. Like, not even help me out. Like, how are you doing it? Let me learn from it. And that's essentially a Jupiter trait. We think that Jupiter is like enemy, friends. No, Jupiter is about awareness. Jupiter is about how can I get better. Jupiter is about what's going on. That sense of awareness and how can I grow from here. So Jupiter is going to learn from Rahu, and essentially when Rahu's doing this, has a massive appreciation for Jupiter, for the ethics, for the morality that he brings. And he's someone who adores Jupiter because they have similar aspects, 159, or those special aspects that people say. And that's going to just enhance and improve Jupiter. You will see that a genius is right there. Someone who's absolutely brilliant, someone who's able to figure the best, someone who's like the apex predator, like let's say the orca whale, and they're like the apex predator. They look amazing. They look not too ferocious. They don't look like I'm out there to get you, but they are the apex predators of the ocean, and they can make it happen. And something very similar to that is a dragon. I know I have done videos in the past about the dragon, but essentially, if you look at the fifth planet from the sun, is Jupiter. The fifth day of the week is Jupiter. And you can also look at the fifth animal that finished the race is the dragon. Dragon's just not some creature that's just there. If you look at advanced genetics of how different animals come together, their strengths coming together, that could be a dragon. Or it could be something that has constant innovation, constant movement, constant change, and something that's magical, powerful, and brilliant about it. That could also be a way to look at it. So dragons and Jupiter also have a lot of commonalities or similarities. That's one of the reasons the entire Chinese culture is based out of dragons. And the way they have the dragon animals or the way they have the zodiac animals in the Chinese astrology is just based on Jupiter. It's based on how the Jupiter cycle works. They don't look at anything else. They don't care about anything else. They're like, if you're this, then that. You are Jupiter. And in Jupiter, in Sagittarius, rat. And you can look at the years, you can look at how it goes. You will see that Jupiter is the one that's the hero or the superhero of the Chinese culture. And like I said, all of us have the planets. It's about how we use the skills and the strengths of the planets and play along and make a difference. And that's essentially what it is. But the central theme of it, which is you, because if you don't exist, none of this exists. The video game of this reality doesn't exist. But if you exist, you are Jupiter. And how are you going to make a difference is the whole game about. So, on that note, I will close this video, and I would urge you to be more of yourself. I would urge you to believe in yourself more. I would urge you to look at how can I make a difference? How can I make a difference to my life? How can I be the bigger person? How can I be the person who can care more, who can give more, who could be the Jupiter more? And the mantra that I've given in this video, I've given this with a lot of love. I hope that it makes a huge difference in your life. I hope that it transforms your life. It transformed my life. It made a huge difference to that. I would make another video of what specific transformation and changes am I actually talking about. But for a quick starter, I'm like fit as a fiddle and kickboxer, and from fat to fab. That's where my journey's been, and there's a lot that's going there, and I am actually living all these things as I'm telling you guys, all of it, guys and girls, man and woman, as I'm telling you all this, Jupiter and Juno. It's all about believing in yourself. It's all about, as you believe in yourself more and more, You got to trust yourself. You got to learn from it. You got to learn, believe, have that sense of confidence and go at it. Don't get bogged down by predictions. Don't get bogged down by transits, gocharam. But look at your Jupiter, which is there in your horoscope. Look at what nakshatra is it with. Look at what Rashi is it sitting there. And look at how can I maximize this. And if there is a planet which has already maximized in that zone, can I learn from that planet? How can I go with that? So believe in yourself, people. You are amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm going to say this again, kind of boring to repeat it, but saying this. The mantra is given with a lot of love. So please go through it again and again and make a difference in your life. Reach out to me through comments. I'm happy to hear any feedback and we could take it from there. So hope you have a great day from here and a great life as well. We'll keep meeting through the videos that we post and love, like, share, subscribe, comment, and grow the channel. It's all about believing in you and be the Jupiter. Jupiter who? You. Bye-bye.